Tell us about episode 3.
Okay, episode 3 is called Vitus Reflux. And there's at Starfleet Academy, a prank war has begun between the students of Starfleet Academy, which you see here in the picture, against the War College. Because War College is a Star Trek sounding term where kids go to college to learn war. So what's happening here is there's a lot of competition going on. The Betazoid, the one that Caleb loves, is falling in love with. She joined the War College without telling him. I mean, look, there's already romantic tension occurring in Starfleet Academy. Well, so apparently for some reason the War College is hanging out at Starfleet Academy, and they're constantly pulling pranks on one another. And of course, the War College does pranks better. And they complain to Captain Aki, who just says, you got to tough it out and figure it out on your own. Because, first of all, pranking is something that Starfleet Academy is known for. And then working it out for yourself. I don't care that you're being bullied. Okay, well, we'll go on from there. So what's happening is the show begins with Laura Thok, the Jemadar Klingon. She's doing her drill sergeant thing, riling up both sides. They're doing their calisthenics and their physicals, and the last straw occurs when in the co-ed shower, the War College beams everybody into different parts of the academy. Caleb gets dropped naked into one of Tignataro's things. So the war is on, and the best way to do it is through competition, through a thing they call Kalaka, which is essentially capture the flag with laser guns. And that's what this episode is. It's learning lessons through competition. This is sorry, I'm trying to get the name here. Rami and Genesis. So it's the guy on the far right here in the picture, and then Genesis is the alien. Apparently, these two want to become the captain of the Kalaka team for the Academy. But so they need to compete in order to see who's the leader. But as you can tell by their physiques, if you compare the two of them together, that they are physically equal in every way. They run just as fast as each other. They lift things just as heavy as each other. They are symbiotic equals. And so the only way Rami is able to win is to kind of cheat. And so there's certain lessons learned here in this episode. One is about leadership, being a leader of your team, and being respected. Because in the military, if you don't have the respect of your soldiers, what kind of a leader are you? And then for Caleb, of course, he learns as a loner all his life that it's better to be part of a team.
So is this like a rivalry of different houses, like in Harry Potter? Like,
yeah, in fact,
Slytherin?
In fact, one of the ways that they're able to get back at the War Academy, War College, is through a flower known as the empathy flower that they learned in botany class. So yes, we've gone full Hogwarts in Starfleet Academy.
I mean, would you say that the show is getting worse?
No. Well, I mean, okay, yeah, it's going on a steady decline. And we'll get into that next week when we talk about the Klingon episode.
Well, I want to talk about episode 4, but for right now, how are people going to react? Almost no one is watching this. The official Paramount Plus X account hasn't promoted the show. It was in the top 10, I believe, at number 6. Followed by Tulsa King, which has been out forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's now not in the top 10, no longer on Paramount Plus. Who is watching this show, and who is it for?
Yeah, I wish I knew. Because look, the audience is clearly the youth, teens, but even they're not watching this. They much rather watch Stranger Things than they would Starfleet Academy. The fact that Paramount Plus is not promoting it, and the fact that it's not on their main screen, the fact that they're not putting it in any of their socials just tells you that even they know this is a bad show.
Mm. Yeah, I just look. What's interesting is even the videos about this, people I think are disinterested. I will let. I think we should ask the chat if they want us to continue to review it week to week. I want to ask the chat, Atomic Lori, should we continue to review episodes of Starfleet Academy? Yes or no? Simple question. We will report on the results. But Alan, like, is this? I know you and I are not the target demo, but we both have kids that are older. I think your daughter is probably the target age.
She is.
And
And
what is
she has
has she
zero
shown
interest.
interest?
She has zero interest in this. I mean,
Have
I
you,
can barely get her to watch anything sci-fi, let alone this.
is
Uh,
it because maybe is she because she's a woman, maybe she doesn't like sci-fi?
I will give you the main reason is for some reason Kurtzman and Hollywood, they feel like they have to dumb everything down for teens. Uh, Teens can handle, real life adult dramas. You don't need to make it quippy. You don't need to make it funny. You don't need to inject a lot of humor. You just need to make it real and authentic.
Mhm.
And that's not what this is. And so, you know, this is, I think Stranger Things, you've seen the first. I don't know anything about Stranger Things, but, it felt like at least early on that it was somewhat down to earth, somewhat grounded. It wasn't looking to make jokes constantly. Uh, I think I just I think that's why they're more interested in like schmosh and just shows that don't treat them like idiots.
Mm. Well, I just know that look, I watched the original series when I was a kid and I
Mhm.
fully was able to absorb it. I was drawn in by the seriousness of uh the stakes of certain episodes and the drama. There was humor, romance. I mean, uh, this I just see as it's almost pandering
Mhm.
to what they think kids are into,
Exactly.
but it's kind of like an adult. You know what it reminds me of? The writers of the show are like adults that want their kids to like them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
want their they really, really care what their kids think of them. So the adult tries to act cool or use language like 6, 7 or whatever to get with the kids. But this is definitely just don't talk down.
Yeah. My first piece of advice for this show is just remove humor from it. Make it
Yeah.
serious like The Next Generation or the original series. But have it star teens. Wesley Crusher was not comic relief in Star Trek The Next Generation. And that's why I said on Monday, it makes you long for the days of Wesley Crusher and makes you realize what a brilliant character that was
Well,
compared to this. I'll just end on this. We talked about the Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew was made to make Star Wars palatable for 10-year-olds. You know what made Star Wars palatable for me when I was 10 years old? 10
what?
years old? It was Star Wars. I saw
Yeah.
the movie. I love the movie. That's all you needed to do to get me into this, to get 10-year-old me to like that movie was
Well,
just let me see the movie.
based on what I've seen the first 2 episodes. I'll watch episode 3. I'll try to catch up to you, Alan.
You
But
need to watch 4. You need to watch 4.
I'll watch 4 next week.
Yeah.
But this is like Shut Up Wesley, the TV show.
Mhm.
Shut Up Starfleet Academy.
No. You remove the shut up part, and that's what you have. Because no one's telling these kids to shut up.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to do is let's do a little preview of Starfleet Academy episode 4. And I want to begin with this because I have a question.
Mhm.
There's romance in the air, and there is a romance brewing between two of the characters whose names escape me. And apparently it's revealed these actors become a lesbian couple in the show, these characters that they play. Here's a clip of them talking about it from the press tour.
And that you can yell at people.
And I can yell at people. That's what I do anyway. It's awesome.
She yells at me on and off camera.
Yeah.
For me personally, playing Jet, it's really interesting because I was single through Discovery. It's been really interesting to incorporate a relationship because we are romantically involved on the show. And I was talking to Gina about this earlier, that I didn't think our dynamic made sense at first because I thought I would be the more dominant personality in a relationship. and honestly, when I watched it with my real wife, she was like, I love this dynamic.
Yeah, it's a dream.
That was awful.
I mean, they do it because they have to, and they can.